shaking going to be okay?
I think we are shaking a little bit, but I've got the image stabilization on.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And
Sorry.
it for just a little shaking, the image stabilization works really well.
Okay,
So I'm
perfect.
hoping, if not, forgive me, we're shaking a little bit. It can't fix
He's
this.
shaking. I'm sitting perfectly still.
Sorry, I'm animated. Okay, there we go. I'm so animated, I knocked over a light. Welcome, hometown East Tennessee. We're back. We're outside.
Yes.
I like doing this outside.
It's really nice to do it outside.
I mean, doing it at the compound's cool, but getting out into town a little bit,
yes.
getting some fresh air, it's beautiful, especially this time of year.
I was just about to say, the temperature has finally dropped. It's probably about 68 currently.
You're wearing the sweater. It's sweater weather.
It's sweater weather, finally. Yes.
If I wear sweaters, I look too much like Santa Claus, so I just can't. I can't do it.
So we'll save that for December.
No Santa Claus. Moratorium on dressing like Santa Claus. I do not do it. Will not do it. But that's another conversation for another time. It's almost Halloween. Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, speaking of, this has nothing to do with Halloween. No. First of all, where are we?
We are at Paul Christman Park,
which is a tiny little park on Boone Street in Johnson City.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the size of a normal yard. In fact, you can see the other houses if you look behind the playground back here.
And on this side, there's a basketball court.
There's a grill you can cook out here. Picnic tables, pavilion.
It's a really nice little park. I've never been here before. I know I've driven past it, but it's gorgeous. There's a big tree. If I were a tree person, I would know what it was, so I could tell you. But the leaves are falling. Yeah. We're in a pavilion, so if it rains.
We originally talked about coming here because it's been rainy all day, but now it's the clouds are gone, the sky's blue, and I'm really digging the park.
It's a cool place.
I'm not kidding that I might come down here and grill out because there's a little grill over there, and I can't do that.
And can you imagine when it's like cold outside?
Yeah.
Get the grill going, got parkas on.
Awesome. Yeah, we might do some more from here. And it's quiet. It's just a nice little neighborhood.
It's very quiet. It's really nice.
These are the things you find when you get out in the neighborhood a little bit. I found this place originally walking the dog. Mm-hmm. We just walked past and we go, what is this? And it seems like one of the neighbors at one point, and forgive me, this is nothing but rumor and hearsay of what I'm about to say. They say that this was once a house, and when the person that owned it passed away, they left the land with the stipulation that it becomes a park. And it is. Yeah.
And it's a park that is, it's not a private park. It is a Johnson City run park.
Right, and it's great. We recommend it, but don't come out here when we want to come out here.
Yeah.
I like the quiet.
We'll just put it on Facebook when we're coming.
There you go. And then you can stay away.
And then you can stay away during that time.
So what's been going on in Johnson City lately?
Well, the biggest thing the last week is Tupelo Honey closing.
That's right, and I think it came to a surprise to everyone that read it on Facebook that day, but it really came as a surprise to these employees who, word is, they didn't know until they came into work that day that they were going out of business.
Which I don't care what the situation is. That's pretty shitty.
It is. I mean, yeah, I know that you really need to keep your employees on the job and focus your last day in business, but yanking that rug out from under them.
But also, if you're planning on going out of business, or if you know a week or two beforehand, or however long, if you know you're not going to be there longer, why does it matter if you have your employees on the top of their game?
That's true. That's true. It just seems to be one of those corporate mentalities that you get into. I don't know many, although I'm sure it happens. Not a lot of local places just shut the doors without telling the employees. I don't know if it's a corporate chain thing, because they're a franchise now. Let's face it, they started off as a little restaurant in Asheville.
And now there's like 15 of them.
Right.
All over the South.
Mostly in touristy places.
Yep, which is exactly why I think it left here.
And the word is that they were given 5 years of tax amnesty by Johnson City. This was 4 years in. So the tax amnesty was about to wear off. Their rent had just run out. I mean, their lease, thank you.
Yeah.
Their lease had run out. So it's not really surprising that they came. They actually did us a great service. They put Tupelo Honey in there when Johnson City was just starting to kick up. So it was a spark. So regardless of whether it's a franchise or not, it probably was the right business at the right time. I know it's arguable, but they really brought a sort of, oh, these people are serious. They brought in a recognized regional name brand restaurant. And so it really kind of kicked off a lot of the big changes 4 years ago that Johnson City's going through.
See, I disagree with that, because the changes were already happening, and that's why Tupelo wanted in.
So they just capitalized on something that was already there.
I think that's what
I can see it.
I was never a huge fan of Tupelo being here, partially because their food's overpriced, and I know I've talked about this on the show before.
Oh yeah, I think we both have agreed on it.
Food's overpriced. It's weird Southern food.
That's the thing. It's the twist.
Right.
It's good up to a point where it's like, oh, look, I'm having pancakes.
Yeah.
These are sweet potato pancakes.
Yeah, which is fine if you're ordering sweet potato pancakes.
And it just tasted kind of weird to me. It just not what I was looking for.
Well, yeah, there were things that I wanted sometimes, Southern foods that I wanted, that I didn't want a twist on.
Right.
Like I recently had a BLT at a local restaurant, but a sort of a bigger restaurant. I won't name what it was, but it had such a twist. It was the shittiest BLT, and I paid $10 for it.
Holy crap!
And it had 2 slices of bacon on it.
Oh, that's
not even enough for a whole sandwich. So stuff like that, I just tend to think there's a time and place for food with a twist.
Right.
And that time and place is in a highly touristy area like downtown Asheville.
Yeah. Yeah.
and not here.
Orlando, when I go to Orlando, Florida, I swear like 75% of all places are like this. They have to have that little something that make the tourists go, ooh, that's a little different, but familiar.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we fell into that. And personally, I used to go to Tupelo when there was only one of them. Mm-hmm. And I burned out on it then in Asheville. Mm-hmm. I mean, the food was fine then, because it seems like back then you would just get Southern food. Mm-hmm. If I wanted some fried chicken and a couple sides, I could get it. Mm-hmm. And then they had to change as Asheville became more sophisticated and all that, and they franchised. But I mean, they're gone, and the word is that they're talking to some local places about going in there, which is great, unless it's like a finance company or
no, surely not. It's already decked out for a restaurant.
Right. Yeah, and you'd think, and it's big and beautiful, but it's so big. How many restaurants can handle that kind of space that's not already a big franchise?
Well, the inside isn't big though.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, the big side.
I consider it a healthy size restaurant.
But it's not above average.
Yeah.
It's only above average when you can take the outdoor seating into account, which is only useful 6 months out of the year.
That's true.
So.
No, I got you. I can't wait to find out what's going to go in there. Hopefully it's something local and exciting and something that will give us something we haven't had before. Mm-hmm. Korean restaurant. Korean with grills. I mean, a full-service Korean restaurant. That would be awesome.
Only if they have a badass bar and you can still sit outside.
That would be nice with good specials. Badass bar with good specials.
Right.
That's important to me, because that was my number one use of Tupelo Honey.
Well, and then when they got rid of their good happy hour, because I remember I went in the day that they were ending their happy hour as it was.
Yeah.
Which was, for anyone who doesn't know, like $3 martinis.
Yeah, they had a whole little list of
and
Bloody Marys. Oh, I love the Bloody Marys.
But I went in the last day and she was like, yeah, we're going to a different happy hour format. And now it's just going to be like $3 off signature cocktails. Well, then you looked at the signature cocktail list and they're all like $14.
Right. It's like,
so you're
still like paying $8 for a drink still.
Right. Yeah. Which, you know, it's fine if that's what you like to do. But if I can make something at home that's just as good and a fourth of the price, I'm not coming to your restaurant.
Absolutely. I mean, my rule, it was just a joke rule, but whenever I went home, if the train was blocking me as I turned left to go home, I go get a drink at Tupelo until the train's passed. Even if the train was there and it was like the last car, I go to Tupelo Honey to get my happy hour drink. And once those were gone, there was no fun, and I really don't think I went there again. I just didn't. It didn't come up. I didn't avoid it. I didn't dislike it. A friend of mine loved it, and I'd always go there. But yeah, that was it. It was kind of an occasion place.
Yeah, and the only thing I really food-wise I liked there was biscuits. Obviously, were pretty good. I liked the shrimp and grits, but not their massive like over-the-top shrimp and grits. I like their just normal
regular portion,
regular portion, regular whatever shrimp and grits. Those were pretty good. That
reminds me, they closed Alta Cuchina over on Roan Street, and they finally got the sign up for what it's becoming. It's becoming a finance place. That's why I thought of that. That's why I said that earlier. It's now a finance place, which they did beautiful work on the building. Yeah,
and honestly, I'm surprised Alta Cuchina stayed there as long as it did.
I ate there when they first opened, was not a fan, and I stayed away for years. I went back, and it was fantastic. It was amazing. I was like, how did I not eat here? I went back 2 weeks later. It was exactly like it was when they opened. So I just never really went there because it was so inconsistent,
Yeah, I never had a meal there that was anything better than mediocre.
Yeah. It stuck around, so somebody liked it. I know people that went there for the steak. Maybe it's because I'm not a steak guy. I don't know. But that was another example of the city. I'm afraid that we're losing restaurants, which is fine. We can afford to lose some restaurants.
Yeah, we have some of the highest capita.
Right, but I'm worried that we're losing local restaurants to service more Tupelo Honeys and to service more of these larger chains that they're trying to bring in. What is the incentive for locals to open up the restaurants downtown now? I don't know.
Tupelo's gone though.
Yeah, but I guess my question is, are they going to get a local restaurant in there?
I think so.
Or is it going to be a local business owner buying a franchise and bringing it in there? I mean, I have no problem with franchises. They're still owned locally. They're still operated locally. They still buy their stuff locally. I just like the creativity you get with a local place.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because we have so many franchises here, and that's just not what downtown is.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I just don't think that will happen. Maybe I'm naive, but
I hope you're right. Let's talk about what we did last week. We missed a show last week. We didn't do a show last week.
Oh, I mean, I knew we did.
I regret nothing.
I knew we did.
We had a great time.
We went to go see Stephanie Sherwood, who we've interviewed for the show, acting in Elvis Left the Building.
Elvis has left the building.
Elvis has left the building at Blue
Moon Dinner Theater.
Blue Moon Dinner Theater.
I said the same thing to someone earlier today. I'm glad it's not just me, because I did that.
No.
I did that. It was a fun show. I mean, I get a kick out of it every time I go there. You get a nice. It's another kind of farcical. Kind of show. Like I saw the Walking Dead show when they first reopened. That was a total farce. That was just madcap, over the top, hokey at times, and a whole lot of fun. And this one was it was a kind of a fun story. It was, I mean, the quick synopsis is Colonel Tom Parker is a master hypnotist, and he hypnotizes a couple guys into becoming Elvis. And it's madcap adventures after that. And Stephanie ended up playing his secretary.
Trudy.
Trudy.
Was it Trudy?
I think you're right.
That sounds right.
I think you're right.
Trudy.
I think it was Trudy. And it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And what's nice about downtown now is you can go across the street, get some beer from Barley Waters, take it over. Not like a pint. You can't go get a pint.
Right. You can't just walk your glass across the street.
You can go get some of their bottles and take them over and enjoy yourself.
Probably took a little too much advantage of, but I regret nothing again. We picked up a couple before the show, during intermission. I still had one after the show. I'm like, oh no! I'm in the lobby trying to leave, trying to drink my beer.
You could have taken it home.
Well, it was already open. I started it like I didn't realize the show was ending, so I just popped it and it's like, thank you, good night. I was like, oh. But it's a hoot. It's a good time down there.
It was a good time.
And Ed comes over to us. He's like, hey, you guys want to come and you can hang out and cover our next opening. And we're like, that sounds like a hoot. It's what is it? Home Sweet Homes.
That sounds right.
Home Sweet Home is, I think, the next one. It's a Sherlock Holmes mystery, interactive mystery. It's going to be fun. So we're going to talk to Ed. That's probably going to be next week. If I can edit as fast as I think I can, we'll have that out probably next Thursday, Friday, something like that. In time for their debut on the 26th, I think, is when he said that they're going to have their opening. So I'll definitely have his interview out before we do the opening. So you'll get to hear a little about Ed and the history of the Blue Moon, and I want to hear a little bit more about his acting career.
Yeah.
Because I think he and Stephanie knew each other
Yeah.
while they were both pursuing their acting careers. I mean, not that Ed's not now.
I think she was in shows at Blue Moon Theater before she went off to college.
I got you.
Or
okay.
between college and law school. I can't remember.
Well, we'll get to the bottom of this when we talk to Ed. That'll be fun. Mm-hmm. And we got some great Halloween stuff.
I was just about to say.
See, I almost screwed up at the top of the show. I started talking about Halloween,
that's
and I was like, oh, no. Do not talk about it yet.
Yeah, so we can't really tell you anything about it.
Nope, not a
But
thing.
Next week at some point,
Yeah.
we will be traveling to somewhere in Tennessee
Somewhere.
to do a thing that we will record.
We will record.
Unless something paranormal happens and our cameras stop working.
Now, what are the odds of that? I mean, you'll have to watch. Don't miss our Halloween episode.
Yeah. And then
Really.
there'll be a follow-up episode.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely. Yeah. Which and I think we're gonna have not gonna say anymore. Not gonna say anymore.
We can't say anything.
You're gonna like this. I know I'm gonna have a whole lot of fun next week as we shoot it.
I'm gonna go get some water blessed at the local Catholic church.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to take lots of spirits with me, like rum.
Yeah.
Whiskey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should get like vests, like fishing vests, and put like little airline bottles
I like
throughout
it.
the entire
Yeah, like
thing.
a little bandolier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
So it'll be special. We're gonna get a little bit dressed up for the intro to that one at least. I got a costume. I don't know about you.
I don't. Actually.
Oh, I got a killer costume.
I'll rustle something up.
We got it. It's tradition now.
I know.
I mean, I don't think we're ever gonna. I don't think we're ever gonna beat the Mortys because I think that was a hoot.
No, the Mortys were awesome.
But the person that we're going to be interviewing for our Halloween episode recognized you as the girl that was dressed as Chick Rick.
Chick Rick.
I was like, wow, he watches.
That was an awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like, wow, people are actually watching us. So thank you if you're still watching us.
Yes.
We got a lot more. I mean, we sat down and had a meeting last night.
A proper meeting.
We talked about the show a day in advance. How about this?
Yeah.
And we got some stuff planned. We got some fun stuff and some stuff that I can't participate in. But hopefully we're going to do it anyhow.
Hopefully. We're waiting on someone else.
So if you're the someone else, get back to me.
Yeah, we're going to ditch him and just go do fun stuff.
Everybody gets to have fun stuff without me. I'll be making a buck. It'll be pretty fun.
That's true.
It's really going to be pretty fun. But yeah, that's coming up. Don't want to. If I keep talking about it, I'm going to say something that's going to give it away. So I'm just going to talk about it.
We're just about 18 minutes.
That's right.
So
I want to talk about last things.
Okay.
If you're a Patreon subscriber, thank you for subscribing. That means that every episode they're giving us a little bit of money, $1, $5. Some
Whatever.
people, everybody gives a slightly different amount. Sometimes they give a slightly different amount. It's up to you. We're going to start changing the way that we do Patreon for you. What we're going to do is we're going to start we're going to trim down the interviews when we release an interview, and we're going to kind of hit the high points and the really interesting stuff. So everybody's going to get to see the interesting stuff. There's even a light in here.
it just comes on.
Now we got a beautiful backlight. Wow. I wish I'd known that. We would have started shooting later anyhow. Patreons are going to get the extended full-length version of our interviews. So we'll release a regular episode. It'll be about 20 minutes long with as much of the interview that we can cram in there. That's the interesting parts.
Yep.
But if you want the whole thing, if you want to get the entire context,
You have to be on Patreon.
that's all you have to do. It can only cost $1. You can throw in $2, $5, $50, whatever you want. $50, huh? But we can then start really giving back to the Patreon. So far, I try to release episodes early to our Patreons. I felt like we need to do something a little extra. I also felt that an hour is too much for an interview, even though they're fascinating interviews and long form is what I like. Sometimes some can support it and some can't. You never know. So this will give us a way to give you the whole story.
Yeah.
Also, what do you think? I think we should start pushing the GoFundMe again for the fall. Just a little bit to give people who do not want to join the GoFundMe a chance to help out on the show.
You mean Patreon.
I'm sorry. Thank you. To help the people that do not want to sign up for Patreon, if you still want to give a one-time, we're going to kick up the GoFundMe again. I'll start including that link a little more often so that you have the option. By no means are you required. We sure do appreciate you watching, whether it's on YouTube, on Facebook. Thank you. And this is a great park.
Yeah, you should come, Paul Christman Park.
But it's time to go.
It is time to go.
So thank you all. Come down and check out the park. And we will see you next time on a slightly more spooky, because we're getting closer to... Oh, I'm sorry. There. Because we're getting closer to Halloween. Hometown, East Tennessee.
Happy to see you.
See ya.